It's dinner time, buddy, and I'm your dinner time buddy, Tyler. Welcome to our very first episode / worst episode. I got inspired to do this after doing a couple Instagram videos where people were asking way too many questions, and I realized ain't none of y'all motherfuckers know how to cook. So I'm going to do my best to actually help you guys along the way. Any skill level, we'll take a look at some of the more amateur shit. We're going to take a look at a little bit more of the extra stuff. You know, if you got a little bit of time, a little bit of money, you want to be a little fancy. And not to leave anybody out, we're going to do a couple of vegetarian shit too. So I thought the perfect thing to start off with was going to be wings. It is actually week 3 for American football, for those of you who don't know. And I think there's nothing better than getting a couple of buddies together and doing up some chicken wings. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start off with the buffalo wings. Now, these are some of the easiest wings you can make anytime you go to any pub, any sort of local shit. 9 times out of 10, they're going to have some frozen chicken wings that they're going to toss in a deep fryer, toss in with some hot sauce and some blue cheese, call them buffalo wings. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that at home. You just buy up some cheap chicken wings using your cheap ass knife. You can dress these up just a little bit nicer. So we're going to cut off the tips, cut off the excess. Now, don't throw this stuff out. For anybody who does do some cooking at home, this will make some excellent chicken stock, chicken gravies, that kind of stuff, so you can actually save that. If you don't want to do this, then just buy the stuff that's already been butchered properly. Alright, so I feel like that's good enough for now. Keep my watch on. Alright, so just a little disclaimer. Chicken's gross. Raw chicken will get you sick. Try and take off all your jewelry, any rings and stuff like that. I know you've probably seen a video or two out there, guys got all their jewelry on and shit like that. To me, that's gross, but I'm also a forgetful human being, so the watch stayed on. I recommend it don't. Now, if you don't got one of these bad boys, I recommend you go get one. I'm going to be a hypocrite here. I literally just bought this. I really like how I just finished saying how disgusting chicken is, and then I took my chicken hand and touched that. I'm good. Alright, so as this comes to temp, we got a couple of minutes, so now we could get all of our other stuff ready. So for the buffalo wings, we're not going to need to do too much. For the extra wings, when we get to them, you're going to see that there's going to be a little bit more prep for that. So while we wait for our oil to get up, I'm going to go off camera here for a second and definitely look up not a recipe, because I know how to cook. I said off camera, fuck. When you are putting these guys in, you just want that nice light sizzle at first. They are going to spit at you. It's okay, you're going to be fine. Because I'm aiming for about 350. So those are going to need between 6 to 8 minutes. Number one thing when you're deep frying though, oils. A lot of people, their go-to for everything is olive oil. I disagree. You got to actually take a look at your smoke points. So it's really important that when you're deep frying in particular, you use a high smoke point oil, such as what I'm using here is peanut oil. You could use canola, vegetable oil is another good one. But those other ones, you keep them for your dressings, your marinades and stuff like that. They are very tasty, but they're not for a cooking method. They're more for a flavor enhancer. So these guys have been in here for about 6 minutes now. 6 to 8 is what you want to go for. If you're ever curious, just take one out real quick, pry her open. But you really want this nice golden... Get the fuck off there, man. Clean me. Yeah, but anyway, you really want that nice golden outer. You'll notice that they are way smaller. That's going to happen. The heat from the oil is actually going to pull a lot of the moisture out, but that's also what crisps up the skin, so that's kind of what you want. All right, now the secret to pub sauce, blow your fucking mind. So you're going to take your Frank's Red Hot, big secret, little bit of blue cheese dressing, like just a quick splash. I'm only doing 5 here, because let's be cheap like those same pubs. Give them a nice little toss. A little bit more, but that's just because I'm feeling saucy. Alright, so we got our buffalo wing all done up. Nice and crispy on the outside. That's how I got fat. These guys right here, this and beer, swear to God, that's how I put on weight. So now we're going to move on to our extra wings. Today I'm going to go with a spicy crunchy wings. That's literally all they're called. Molly, I probably just butchered the hell out of that. We're just going to take our ginger. If you have a microplaner, it's way easier. I don't, again, going with that broken cheap thing. So let's just use the side of our very expensive cheese grater to get that guy down. You know what? we're gonna go a little more. Just because, fuck it, why not? Alright, so that's a good sign to not use it ever again because it just touched the chicken. Fuck it. I was right the first time. This is what you get when you question yourself. Alright, so I got that ready to go. Let's get a few more of our seasonings all put together. Just some ground sea salt. A little bit of freshly ground black pepper. This guy I had to get. I got him last minute because I forgot, because again, forgetful human being. So just break off a little thing. Actually, this is what I want to show you before I just killed him. Looks like a crawfish. I'm very proud of him, but he ends. Same thing as before though. So yeah, I'm learning with you guys. One thing I forgot to leave out of our intro. I am by no means a professional. I'm just a guy who got fat eating his own food, so you know it wasn't terrible. So what I'm getting prepared here right now is what's called a dredge. So if you don't know what that is, you've probably seen it. The most basic form of dredging is when you were a kid and your mom got lazy and she decided to make you shake and bake. You've heard Ricky Bobby say it. You shake it before you bake it. This is exactly what this is. Just a little flour mixed with your seasonings. And then you do what's called an egg wash. So like I said, I just like to take mine and mix the fuck out of it. Like, almost like you're about to make an omelet, but you're not, because it's not breakfast time. Calm down. It should still be able to stick to the fork, but thin enough that it just runs right off. So that's more or less what we want. The recipe I'm going to put in the link does not call for it, but I personally love it. Is some very fine breadcrumbs. For me, it's just a nice crispy outer coating. I'm not trying to get these completely covered in the panko. It's more or less just to give it that little bit extra mouthfeel. I know, I fucking hate that I use that word, but. So we got our flour base here. We got our eggs nice mixed up, ready to go. So, kind of just go for flour first. Some people like to do the dry hand, wet hand method. So you do all your dry shit with the one hand, getting your eggs with the other. I'm just going to go for a basic coat with these guys. So instead of into the flour, into the breadcrumbs. So now, just for the sake of everything cooking at the same time, I'm going to just put those to the side until I get all of them ready to go. We got our oil up to temp, so just like before, tossing these guys in. That sizzle means she's ready. And now we're going to move on to the glaze for the extra stuff. So, right off the hop, we're going to get our fancy oils. Okay, we're going to do 2 tablespoons of the olive oil. We need a ton of honey. Like, almost excessive, especially since I'm only making the 5 for you guys, but hey, I could utilize this after, and me and the roommate are going to be eating chicken wings for about 3 days. Hashtag health. Hashtag cry for help. I feel like this is what people tune in for. The chance to watch honey pour into a cup. Good quality video right here. Alright. So now you're going to watch it go from one to the other. Woo! And do a teaspoon of cayenne. Oh, fuck it. Because I don't want to make it too spicy there. We're going to get onto some sriracha. I think this shit's going to make everything taste pretty good. A little bit of granulated garlic. In with the garlic. Granulated garlic, garlic powder, dried garlic. There's like 50 names for it, but it's all the same shit. So don't worry if you got something that's a little bit different than what I got here. Some salt with the lid on. Well, over salted. Actually, you know what? No, that was about what I needed. I thought I put way too much in there. Some freshly cracked pepper. Give her all a mix. So get your little tasting spoon. That's not fucking bad. However, I personally think it needs like the smallest bit of acid. So I'm gonna go off script here and add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Not a lot. Right, so now we're gonna start with the glaze. You saw me getting all those other ingredients ready here. We got some olive oil ready to go in this little saucepan. I had some garlic already minced up and toss her in. So now the trick here is I want these guys almost like gummy-like, so I'm not quite browning them. So the trick is keep them moving, keep them happy. So now you see kind of getting a little bit of the brown on there. Bring our sauce bowl over, take it off the heat. Let's get that nice gooey mixture in there. You'll notice that the oil was the first to go out. Get as much of that on there as you can because a lot of that honey likes to stick to the bottom. I tasted this off camera there and that little bit of red wine vinegar. Woo! Woo! That's the good stuff. Alright. So we're going to want to do this for about 5 minutes just to kind of reduce it. So whenever you hear somebody say reduction or reduce something, just a fancy word for I boiled this bitch till it turned to gravy. Alright, so when your sauce is cooking, it's going to bubble up and you're going to get a little scared. That's okay. So see what I mean there? Where it's getting nice orangey and stuff. That's just a lot of the sugars coming out. This is why you want to keep stirring it though. Sugar burns so fast and it stinks and tastes like shit. We don't want our food to taste like shit. So that's come. We're just going to let that cool down a bit. All right, our sauce is good to go. So here's, I keep saying sauce. It's more or less a glaze. But here's what we call the back of the spoon test. So if you could pick up a spoonful, turn it over upside down. If it still sticks to the back of your spoon, you're good to go. She's reduced enough. Our chicken's ready to go. So we're just gonna get these guys into our bowl. So because these are breaded, you don't want to be too violent with them like we were with the buffalo wings. So you take your glaze, buddy. That's like some food porn stuff right there. Let's see what these bad boys taste like. I'm gonna take that massive chunk of onion on there. That was just for some sexy shots, but we don't need that much onion on there. So right off the hop, definitely getting that sweetness from the honey. Lots of subtlety in the olive oil. The garlic comes out. And then right at the end, you get a nice, really subtle pinch of that sriracha. A little bit of those crushed pepper flakes there, or whatever you decide to put in. So it's really, it's not as spicy as the buffalo wings, but it still gives your mouth a little bit to figure out. There's a lot to unpack here. Highly recommend those. Those are fucking banging. Banging! Alright, so you've had your buffalo wings, you've had your little bit extra on the spicy sweet wings. Now, let's say you don't like the meat so much. Great option to chicken for a lot of recipes is actually just you're down to home, like Ma used to make cauliflower. So, first we're just going to chop this up into what's called little florets. So that's just like your little tree looking buggers. So something like that I'm going to cut in half here. Something, bite-sized, manageable, because we are going to be baking this. So something about that size, maybe about, inch or two by an inch or two. We got our shit all nice and cut up. What you need to do, put your oven on bake. $425, that was awkwardly long. So while that's baking up, we're going to get our guys all nice and dressed up here. So now you can either do this in a bag or a Ziploc. I already have a Ziploc out from when I decided I didn't want to do a Ziploc. So we're going to toss our little florets of cauliflower in there. And these are going to break apart as you go. Don't be worried. That's why you buy a big thing of it, right? You add it to salads later or whatever. You don't got to throw anything out. So right now, we're going to toss in a quarter cup flour. Now, if you are a little bit more on the vegan side of vegetarianism, there's a lot of things in here that you could isolate, so you don't need to do milk. You could do like things like soy milk. It's not something you have to be finite on when it comes to the recipes. You can pick and choose as you go. So we're gonna do a quarter cup of flour. Just sprinkle it in there, and then we're gonna do granulated garlic. about a 1/4 teaspoon. So not a lot of this stuff because it is pretty potent. So a couple of shakes, just enough for a little bit of flavor, but you're not making everything like super, super garlicky. So just give these guys a shake, just like a shake and bake. Now we got your 3 tablespoons of milk. This is going to help everything adhere a little bit better. And just like before, like we did with our fancy wings, we're going to finely crush up some breadcrumbs. The finer the better. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, just get one. There's no alternative needed. Just fucking get one. Get that stuff into our bag of mixture shit. Zip it up because she's going to be messy. This is why I prefer the bag over the bowl. And yeah, I know, single-use plastics, whatever. If you could rinse out the bag, reuse it. Do as you choose. Your tray, line with some tinfoil. There are baking sheets you can get too if you are going for that more sustainable lifestyle.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
Get these guys out on the tray. Now I should add too, you could do the dredge method with this if you are not cooking for vegetarian reasons. You could use the dredge method. You are going to get a more even coating, but we're doing a vegetarian friendly thing. That's what we do here at Dinner Time Buddy. You know, we make sure everybody's included. Everybody gets a little bit of something. So with that note though, personally I think these guys could use a little bit more as far as the breading goes. So this one I'm gonna like super finely get those breadcrumbs on and just sprinkle it over top like you would like a salt or a pepper, just to make sure there's a little bit of crunch on these guys, right? We're gonna toss these into the oven for about 20 minutes. And once we get there, I'll show you what we're going to do next. All right, so our cauliflower is just about done baking. So real quick, real simple, just like we did with the basic buffalo wings. We're going to get a little bit of hot sauce, a little bit of our blue cheese dressing. Mix super well. Make sure everything's nice and incorporated. It might sound weird, but you're going to add just the smallest bit of olive oil to this. So we're actually going to be dunking our cauliflower florets into this guy. And the olive oil is actually just going to help it adhere to those little crackers and little white fuckers. I'm allowed to say that because I'm white. Alright, so now let's grab our cloth so we can grab our oven mitt. Because smart. Leave your oven on because these guys are going to go back in there. I still have a little bit of that glaze from the extra wings we did earlier. So I'm going to toss a few of them in that stuff. These ones we're not going to heavily coat just because of how strong this glaze is, but just enough to get a bunch of that awesome garlicky flavor on there. Now just grab them on your fork.
Maybe skewers would be good.
Skewers would be good. You want to coat these guys unlike those ones just because of how potent the glaze is. So we're going to coat these guys up nicely. Put them back down. Make sure everybody's completely coated. Now we got everything nice and sauced up. Back in there for an additional 15 minutes. And the last 2 to 5 of those minutes, I'm going to set this bitch to broil. And we're going to get those things nice and crispy. So we'll check back again then and let you know how the shit tastes. So we're just going to get these guys nice and plated up here. Figure it out. We got some of our sweet and crunchy sauce on some of our flowers here, and then just your regular buffalo sauce like we did for our basic wing. Alright, so I actually brought my partner in crime here when it comes to Dinner Time Buddy. This is the camerawoman, editor, everything else that isn't just standing in front of the camera and saying stupid shit. This is Sam. Sam is actually a vegetarian, so I asked her to come in front of the camera with me for a minute to actually try out these cauliflower wings. Is that what you like to call them?
Yeah.
Hey, you try it out. Let me know what you think, because I don't really like them. Well, what do you think?
It's good. I think I like... I'm trying on camera, but... So I like this one better.
Alright, so the crunchy, sticky, sweet one, whatever, the one we did with the leftover glaze.
But I'm not really a hot sauce person. But, like, I'd still eat this. It's just this one's a little bit more oomph to it. Because it's more savory. This is just, like, this is burning your mouth.
Yeah, you know, I am a hot sauce guy, but I have to agree. there's a little bit more depth of flavor. So now you know if you're going to do this, I highly recommend maybe doing a little bit more on the sweet and savory side. Do like a barbecue sauce or even the glaze that we just did here for our extra wings. Tastes awesome. Lots of crunch, lots of flavor. I think that's a fucking banger.
That's really good.
That's a fucking banger is what she said. Alright, there you have it. That's chicken wings 3 ways. We did our basic version with the buffalo sauce. We got our nice sticky sweet spicy with our extra style. And we even got a healthy vegetarian option in there with our buffalo wing and a little bit of that extra glaze on there. Cooking doesn't have to be hard, doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, it should be fun. Like I said before, even cooking something out of your element, for me, vegetarian stuff's a little bit daunting. So, get out of my element, put myself out there. I'm a sensitive little guy. I'm fragile. I could have got hurt, and I didn't, and it paid off. This stuff doesn't look too bad. That's fucking dinner time, buddy. Dinner time. Buddy!